Hi, my beautiful goddess. Thank you for being here today. And today, I want to talk about something that I guess for me is something that all my clients ask me about. And for some reason, I'm like, okay, with all the social media, TikTok, and everything, I'm like, I just think everybody knows this, but I've been asked this question so many times that I'm going to give you my point of view and see if what I have to say could help you. And this is pretty much about what is the right foundation for you. I get this question asked, how do I know what my right foundation? What is the right color? What should I go get buy? What should I buy? Why am I always getting the wrong foundation? Why am I always getting the wrong color? It, it blows my mind how stressful it could be and frustrating because I used to be that person before. I used to go thinking that I knew exactly what I wanted, and as soon as I walk in the Sephora or Nordstrom, makeup counters to get my color match, I got different opinions. I had been told that I was a cool undertone and then I'm a warm undertone, and I just get really confused and frustrated. I felt pressure and buy the product, like a peer pressure, come home and then realize that it was not the right color. I can see it because it didn't really enhance my beauty. It actually took away my beauty by I'm sure you have experience with, like you notice your face is a one color and your neck is another. It will happen to me a lot where my face will be pink and then my neck will be yellow, and that's not a good look for anyone. So I'm here to help and see if I can like make things easier for you. I want you to go confident and not feel overwhelmed and pressure and stressed out. So one of the things that we're going to start with is I want you to know your undertone. So your skin undertone is number one key of finding the right foundation for you. Your undertone could fall under warm, cool, or neutral, or olive. So having that and knowing that, it's number one thing, just because if you were to get the wrong undertone, it's going to just not work out for you. Doesn't matter what you do, it's just not going to work out for you. So finding your undertone, if you already don't know your undertone, I want you to go to your closet and look at your clothing and see what is your, especially your favorite items in your closet. Look, what color are they? Are there more in the warmer, earthy, yellow, orange undertones? Or are there more of a cool undertone like black, white, like navy blue, like super cool, crispy colors? Like, are those your best colors? And that's going to determine if you're more of a warmer or cooler undertone. Another another thing that can help you find your undertone is jewelry. So jewelry, if you're more a gold, you love gold, most of your jewelry is gold, most likely you fall under warm undertone. And if your jewelry is more in the silver colors, cool undertones, then you probably will be more of a cool undertone. Now, there is neutral undertone, and neutral undertone has a mix of both. So that could be a little more tricky. So that means you have a little bit of warmth, but you also have a little bit of cool, and you can do silver and you can do gold and still look pretty nice. I happen to fall in the neutral undertone, and thankfully nowadays we have a lot of shades that have the neutral undertone there, where back in the day I think there was no such thing. Now, Another way is actually looking into your veins, into your wrist, and you're going to see, do you have a lot of green veins, or do you have more of a bluish undertone or purple undertone? So the green, if you have lots of green, it means you're more in the warmer undertone. If you have more of the purple, bluish undertone, that means you're more of a cool undertone. So that's another way. Also, if you tan very easily, you're most likely a warmer to olive undertone. Where if you're more of a cool undertone, you tend to burn. Your skin will burn in the sun. Before you end up going to any counter, any place to buy foundation, Sephora or Nordstrom counter, beauty counters, I want you to know your undertone. That is a must before you even hit any stores. So the nice thing is that when you go to a cosmetic counter, once you know your undertone, you're going to find that the foundations have they're categorized with the undertone. So if you are warm, you're going to look for a foundation that has a W for warm. And if you are cool undertone, you're going to look for the C. And that is the key that that foundation has a cooler undertone. And if you're neutral, it's going to have an N for neutral. And I have seen nowadays that even it has, if you fall more into like neutral warm, it can have the NW, which is really cool if you feel like you're neutral but you lean a little more to warm, or you're neutral but you lean a little bit more to cool. There's actually there is that in between, which is very nice too. The undertone is really going to help you not to do the mistakes I did and a lot of people do. It's like having a different color on your face and your neck and the rest of your body. I want you to go confident and actually match your skin and not fight against it. Instead, enhance your beauty. Tip number 2 will be finding where do you fall into the color. Like, are you a lighter shade or are you a more deep shade? So that it's actually a lot easier than you think, because once you're there, you can kind of swap. You kind of know if you fall into like medium or are you more like fair. You want to go with the lighter shades, and how the foundations are mainly described. It's like one being number one being the lightest shade, and I don't know, 10 could be the deepest shade. Actually, they go further than 10, but as the number goes higher, the deeper the shade will be, and the number one would be the lightest of all. So the nice thing is that if you get it wrong, if you go just slightly a little lighter or a little darker, that's not going to really affect the whole look because you got the right undertone, because that would be your number one. Once you get the right undertone, if you messed up a little bit on the color shade, and let's say you get a slightly lighter or slightly darker, you can always mix it with something else, a lighter shade that you might have, or get another shade and kind of mix it and still use it because it still has the right undertone. So the shade matters, but it's not going to be a deal breaker if you don't get that exact shade. Or you can just save it for the summer, or save it for the winter when you're slightly lighter or slightly darker, or mix it with something at home that you might have and it will work out. Tip number 3 is your skin type. So what is your skin type? Are you oily? Are you dry? Are you mature skin? Are you acne prone? We do have to consider these things before we buy a foundation as well. Just because if you're oily skin and you were to buy a foundation that has a lot of oils, it might not work out for you just because it's going to add more shine to your already where you already have natural shine, and it's going to just add more shine. Finding the right foundation for your skin type is important. I would say my recommendation is, if you're oily skin, try to find a foundation that is water based instead of oil based. Water based is so much better just because it's not going to add more oil to your skin, and it's going to just sit better. It will have a better finish. And if you're acne prone, for sure, having a foundation that has no oils is going to probably work best, because that, the oils can actually irritate your skin and bring up more of the acne in your skin. So we want to stay away from all types of oils or heavy foundations. Now, if you're more of a dry skin and you need that hydration, I recommend going more with a more hydrating oil-based foundation. That's probably going to work best for you, because it's going to hydrate your skin as well and give you more of a bouncy look instead of a flat look. So if you are mature skin does need that hydration as well. I would say also be more into, cater more to maybe oil-based foundation. Not that you can't use the water base, but you want to make sure you get a very hydrating foundation for your skin, so that way your skin can bounce and just feel plush and feel comfortable. Tip number 4 is going to be more of, what are you looking for? What is the look you want to achieve? Do you want something that is more natural, that you can just throw it in and like you're ready to go? Or you want something more of a medium coverage, something not too heavy but not super light, but you want a little coverage? Or do you want something really full coverage, where you're pretty much putting a thick foundation that is just going to cover all the imperfections, and you're just going to have more of a glam look? So really is your preference on that. There is no right or wrong on that. It also depends on your lifestyle. So what type of lifestyle you have. If you're more of a, natural, like you like to do more, outdoor activities, or you're in the office most of the time and you just sit behind a desk. It really depends on your lifestyle as well, like what will work best for you. Now, I find that, like, I'll give you an example. For me, I like more of a natural look, so I do a tinted moisturizer type of foundation. So it's super light. You still can see my skin through all my imperfections. I like to use this on my everyday basis. But if I want to glam out a little and I want to have a night out, I will have a medium coverage that you can build in. You can build more if you like. That way I can get that flawless look without being super heavy. But again, everybody has a preference, and like I said, there's no right or wrong. I will say go with what you like, that type of look you like. I am going to mention a couple tips though. If you are more in a mature skin, I don't recommend full coverage as much, just because that tends to kind of sit very harshly on the lines, and sometimes it can emphasize that instead of concealing that. So too heavy could sit too harshly on the lines. But again, you do you, and there's no judgment here. I'm just here giving you some tips, and yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye now.